In isolated Russia, a story of Economies. Ishhesk, Russia. Russia's file employment alerts a fantastically easy decoupling from the West. Its rapid substitute of McDonald's NYSE, MCD, and Starbucks NASDAQ, SBUX, says organization as usual. Yet pressures are constructing its economic device. 6 months into the Ukraine war, the strategies and struggles of Russia's largest automaker gives an insight into the contrasting fortunes of a rustic striving to face up to what Vladimir Putin calls an financial blitzkrieg, with the aid of the West. Avtovaz restarted production of its Lada logo this summer after it became halted in March within the face of Western sanctions, deliver shortages and the lack of its French associate Renault EPA, Renault. It has no longer formally laid off any of its 42,000 employees. Nonetheless, the organization's feeling the warmth, and it is shrinking. The bulk of the 3,200 workers at its manufacturing unit within the industrial town of Ishhesk, where vehicle production has now not resumed, have been furloughed considering March, with the business paying 2/3 in their wages, despite the fact that a few group of workers had been given temporary paintings around the manufacturing unit on decreased hours. This month, the automaker provided all Ishhesk employees one-off bills to stop because it appears to awareness extra manufacturing on its primary plant in Togliatti, 600 kilometers away. It's a desire between awful and horrible, said Alexander Nyazev, relating to the dilemma over whether or not to take a 200,000 ruble $3,400 severance charge or remain in his job in the Ishhesk's stamped frame elements workshop. Last week he selected to stroll far from the manufacturing facility, which had paid him over 45,000 rubles per month. They do not want so many technicians anymore. Asked what number of workers had chosen to simply accept the severance, Avtovaz advised it'd divulge the very last range after this month, including that those people on reduced hours would cross lower back to a 5-day week on the plant from August 29. The enterprise did no longer problematic on its plans for Ishhesk, although it stated earlier this month it remained committed to the plant, which it mentioned would be retooled to make the first Russian-made electric-powered automobile, the Lada Elargus, and could hold service and help features. In the current scenario of sanctions stress and a growing variety of variables, we are taking comprehensive measures to hold employment, Avtovaz President Maxim Sokolov mentioned at the time. Ruben Ankipalov, a professor of economics at Moscow's New Economics School, mentioned the auto area's struggles were being masked via hidden unemployment, in which workers have been no longer laid off but instead positioned on indefinite furlough. He said he expected unemployment to upward push in the direction of the cease of the 12 months, whilst he said it had likely come to be clear that sanctions were not likely to be lifted within the near future. In Russia, economic crises don't tend to provide mass unemployment due to the specifics of the Russian labor marketplace, just like the furlough practice, Ankipalov stated. The Russian Economic System Ministry declined to comment for this newsletter. This month, Economy Minister Maxim Reshetnikov disregarded any talk of a dramatic upward push in joblessness, which professional records pegged at a record low of 3.9% in June. I think that in autumn, we will pass far from those document low numbers. However, permits not over-dramatize the situation as underneath manage, he informed a conference in Yekaterinburg. In some other signal of official optimism, amid excessive oil fees and famous rules to cushion the effect of inflation, ultra-modern authorities' forecasts imply the depth of Russia's financial contraction can be less excessive than previously feared this year. Symbol of success, autos isn't always the only Russian industry taking a hit from the showdown with the West. In total, 236,000 Russian employees were both on furlough or reduced hours as of the cease of July, according to Deputy Prime Minister Tatiana Golikova. They aren't a part of officially 3 million human beings registered as unemployed in Russia. About half of all air site visitors controllers, or 14,000 humans, were furloughed or put on part-time work. As an example,